Heck of a game. I cannot tell you how difficult it was to walk out of here after those first two. Very few people understand the feeling in that locker room and walking off that field after something like the first 2 days. And we clearly did not play well. To try to reset and regroup and come out here and play our style of baseball, I've never seen a group respond the way they responded to that. That was very, very difficult the last 2 days. We didn't really have any phase of the game that we executed at a high level. Not a high enough level to be a team that really played good baseball. When you get into this, Mendez almost needed to have a first inning like it was a closer mentality. We needed to get off the field and not deal with anything in inning one and try to just get into this thing, and that was a concern. We needed no mess, no traffic, no labor, no crazy stuff. Let's get off the field. And I almost felt like for him that was an important, it was not a relief appearance, but in my mind it felt that way. Like we need to get the first guy, we need to get into this and let's go. And then some really good at-bats to kind of get it going. Lodice's double, Max, and then Myles. And, that held for a long time. They're tough, and Prescott was the first one up, and he has to command a secondary pitch and get to the fastball eventually, and he didn't have a feel for the secondary pitches early on, and that guy got a 2-0 fastball. I'm sure that thing was middle up, hammered it. But the response, like Johnny Abraham, the response there to come in after last night, think about how he felt after last night's game and to respond the way he only threw 11 pitches. So it wasn't like we're asking somebody that threw 58 pitches to come back. To get those 3 strikeouts was big. They have some really good bullpen arms, and they know the matchups. They know the tendencies, and so do we. Like the guy that I think they put Lodice on base because the batting average against the guy they had on the mound for the left-handed hitters was under 100. It was 0.97. So you know why they did it. And Max, I think that was a changeup that he hit. It was a huge base hit. And then Myles. Like somebody's got to deliver. And today you saw us play our type of baseball, and it was enough. Thought Hankerson had a nice day. Those at-bats were big. Lead off that inning. BJ's pinch running, but I'm proud of Hankerson. He works hard. He quietly goes about it. Very smart young player. Like we have a young group. I think when you look at North Carolina's positional roster and the starting pitchers, that's probably the oldest team that we've played, and they play like it. But some of our young guys delivered for us today. I'm very proud of how we went about it, and I can't express enough how difficult it was leaving here last night and knowing the ramifications of not performing well today. The last hour of the games, it always stands out. And when you get to this time of year, I look down, it was 4:09, and that game ended at 5:09. And what happened between 4:09 and 5:09 changes a whole heck of a lot. And some games, the last hour kind of blends in, but you get to this time of year, because of the caliber of play, that last hour really starts to magnify, and every pitch and every play and every at-bat starts to exacerbate what's going on. And that was the case today. And they played a good last hour, but our guys were better today at the end.
As you said there, it's like easy to have your head down after losing 2 games to a team like this, but was the mindset kind of with like the ACC tournament ramifications, like just kind of play this as a 1-game series, forget the rest of it, and just focus on today?
Honestly, there was never a discussion of the ACC tournament or rankings or standings or anything. You have to go play good baseball and play the game. And when you do that 50-plus times, the dust will settle, and sometimes it settles in your favor, and if you don't perform, you're not going to like it. But to get into all that, I couldn't tell you the format of the ACC tournament. My only push was to take all the teams. I thought it was very important. The SEC's taking all the teams. We need to take all the teams because I think the number of teams from our conference in the SEC, with the addition of the teams that have been added to these leagues, it probably grows. So we needed to have everybody there so that you don't have a team, and it can happen. Your 13th place team, if the league is really strong, What if they have a really good RPI and a solid record? They just had some tough luck in the league. That can happen. That was my push. Now, the format of it, they can figure all that out. Couldn't tell you the format of it. Don't really care about the format of it right now. I'm disappointed that we didn't play a little bit better in those first 2 games, but there's nothing you can do about the first 2 when you show up today, and I'm proud of the guys for what they did, and whatever happens around the country, we did the best we could today. And the seedings and all of that, the dust will settle and we'll be where we are.
You mentioned the youth, but to have a couple of your younger guys like Wes and Myles deliver in the way they did today, how proud are you of that?
Well, they're growing up. Mendez, that's the best he's ever thrown. It's the best he's ever thrown. And the things we do in this weight room, the things we do in the training room to prepare these guys, there are times you guys probably walk out here asking why we didn't send somebody back out in the middle of March to kind of throw the 8th inning. There's a reason for that, because I want him to be better now, and we need that length now. And he was throwing 95 miles an hour today, and I don't know that we've seen more than a handful of pitches, maybe less than a handful with that kind of velocity. But it had good life, then the secondary pitches become more effective. So, and a lot of these guys haven't felt the magnitude of one of these series. And I don't make a big deal out of it. They probably know more about the ramifications than I do, quite frankly. But there's a weight to that. And he really delivered. And Myles and Johnny A, that's not an old team. We had senior day, we had 3 seniors. And I don't know that any of them factored into the game today. And they had 4, 5, 6 of them. So I'm proud of the young group. And you need them to mature, and you need to get guys like that to campus, Myles and Carnes and some of those freshmen that have draft opportunities, and the young guys have grown up a lot.
You mentioned, obviously you guys didn't talk about the standings, and you mentioned the response that they had from yesterday to today. Was it something that you as coaches delivered a message to those guys, or did you just kind of put the trust in them that they've been in this situation before, they can figure it out and get you guys a win today?
I tack a lot on them every day. Every day. Like, we push these guys every single day. And sometimes you push to the limit of the mentality that you want, and the discussion of how to go about it, and the repetition, and the work in the cages, the work in the bullpen, the work in the weight room. Like, we push pretty hard. And my message last night was, this is brutal, but when you shower off, you need to try to wash as much of that negativity off of you and try to reset and come back, so it doesn't lurk back in here tomorrow and you're moping around and pouting around, because you will get your butt kicked for a 3rd time if you function in that manner. So that was the message. And if you don't pitch better and play cleaner defense and have better at-bats, you'll get your butt beat too. So part of it's the mindset. The mindset starts to lead into a little bit better execution.
You like that at-bats today? You drew 6 walks. I feel like you had a bunch of 3-ball counts too. Myles' game-winning hit was on a 3-ball count, I believe.
The at-bats were better today. Like, we're close, and I'm probably our toughest critic on what we do at the plate. You see some guys that are so close to grasping some things. Cal Fisher's sitting on that slider, and he absolutely, and he just didn't quite get it. But you feel the growth and the ability to manage it. And we talk about the at-bat. I know it's reckless, and I know their starters the last 2 days were in the zone with multiple pitches. Some of it is tough to decode and figure out and recognize, and that's why you see us take some weird swings sometimes. And you saw against Johnny A, they took some weird swings. So the quality of pitching, when done right, hinders the quality of the at-bat. And I told you guys from day one, this team needed to be tough to score on, because it was built differently than if you just want to compare to last year's team. This is a different group, and I knew that. So the pitching and the defense needed to be something that we constantly leaned on as we grew through the at-bat. And you look at the caliber of players that were in 2, 3, 4, 5 in our lineup, it's hard to just replace those guys. So that's why there was an emphasis on the defense and the pitching and the depth and the bullpen and all of that. As we grow and become more physical, I think the offense has been okay. I don't think it has been great. It has been reckless. I know we strike out, we don't walk enough, but it is what it is. We have to support that with the pitching and defense.
How much do you think Alex is, the regular season is over now. There's a lot of baseball left. But he's had one of the better regular seasons in school history. How much do you think that led to their decision? I know he's got good numbers against lefties, but that number, you don't want their best hitter to beat you, to walk him to set it up for Max and Myles.
I think it's an absolute combination of those two. An absolute combination. If you're just looking at the matchup and you're looking at how Max had handled some of the secondary pitches, and you look at Lodis and how that's gone, and you look at the splits of the guy on the mound, you're not worried about, at that moment in that decision, I don't think they were worried about the runner at first base. They were trying to record an out to keep the guy on third base. So that was probably it, and I'm speaking out of line because that's their decision. But when you do it, you're going to have to deliver against a weird matchup. And that right-handed pitcher matched up more difficult way than he did with the right-handed hitter. So I think it added up to them doing it. Now the risk is you are putting the potential go-ahead run on base. But you still have to have a couple good at-bats. And Max and Myles did.
I assume you think Alex should be the ACC Player of the Year?
Yes, he should be the ACC Player of the Year. And more. To go play that position every day, that position's hard. I tried. I wasn't very good at it. He's good at it. And the quality of the at-bat and the extra base hitting and the consistency, it's really tough to do that at that position. As good as I've seen.
You talked about not focusing on not paying attention to the ramifications in the ACC. I could tell you, because you won today, you would have played on Wednesday if you lost in the second round. You get a double. Yeah, you get a double.
Where is the tournament?
Durham.
Okay, it's in Durham. Okay, so what else?
Because now you get a double bye to the quarters, you don't play till Thursday or Friday. How does that line up better for the weekend, kind of as you turn the page to regionals the following weekend, not having to play on Wednesday?
Well, the biggest question when you get into these conference tournaments, okay, you play all year and you have high-level arms, and then you move this up to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The trip to California was absolutely agonizing trying to get back. It was just tough. Then you come back to this and you're flipping these guys around. It's Thursday. Then all of a sudden, if you're playing, some of the conference tournaments start on Tuesday or Wednesday, and here you go. So what do you do with these guys? Then the next round of it, you're back into, okay, we're back to Friday. It's tough. I will say, I don't know the entire format, but you are trying to reward the teams that had the better seasons in the league when you get to the tournament. I was in the SEC for a while, and I think it was an 8-team double elimination, absolute grinding bloodbath tournament, and you were playing at midnight, Auburn and Ole Miss, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and your pitchers are beat. It's tough. The pod system we had did give you some consistency of when you're playing, who you're playing. The fans knew, we knew, and how the new format unfolds, I don't know. I had 2 comments. We need to take all the teams, and we need to protect the teams that have done better within the regular season. If you're not doing that, it diminishes a little bit the success in the regular season if you're pigeonholed and you're risking some of your arms. So it clearly does help with the pitching. Now what we do with it, I haven't, how far I've gotten with that, 0 until you've asked me. So Mike is in there waiting.
What you said about the last hour of the game, just how big is it to see that version of John?
Can't tell you how tough for him last night and to be called upon in that situation. It's tough. The changeup, the cutter, the fastball. You might have gotten punch outs with everything. I know the last one was a changeup, maybe 2 changeups and the fastball up. And it's tricky. Like you can feel him grasping to execute every pitch. The game felt like it slowed down a little bit, and you understand the magnitude of trying to finish a 1-run game against that team, especially after you were a part of not good the night before. So the guy's tough, and he's worked at it. He's developed the cutter, the changeup's gotten better, the breaking ball's still there, and I thought his fastball was sneaky today. Good life. There were some threes. He did a really good job. That's not an easy phone to answer today, and he did it.